society. Hello, cafe, toot toot. Dealers in Mercedes have taken all the loot. The fruit is gone, you get a bone digging in the root. But I'm comfortable, how about you? Oxy and tasty cakes, cocktails at 5. Schools are all busted, quickly getting fried. Folks who live on food stamps barely stay alive. But I'm comfortable, how about you? We forget to breathe, forget to leave. The hungry ghosts at bay. We sell our time, make it a crime. Be a human being today. Millionaires and bloggers, hip to TV chatter. Offshore laundered money makes fat cats even fatter. Little drones bust your bones, does it really matter? 'Cause I'm comfortable, how about you? Flies and turns, paralyzed, terror on the street. Instant information given in a tweet. Cold bones in a moan, so sweet. But I'm comfortable, how about you? We forget to breathe, forget to leave. The hungry ghosts at bay. We sell our time, make it a crime. Be a human being today. Tower of gold, one day will fall into the dust. Kiss the angel on the lips, kiss the one you trust. It's hard to be holy when your feet are in the mud. But I'm comfortable, how about you? We forget to breathe, forget to leave. The hungry ghosts at bay. We sell our time, make it a crime. Be a human being today. Man against man, is that the plan? When we gonna learn? We have life. The fire gets its turn. Cycles of life, cycles of death. Churn, churn, churn. But I'm comfortable, how about you? Thank you, thank you. Yeah.
Now, Tom and I have lived on this property for 41 years come June 8th, yesterday. And our children were raised here, and our daughter Esther was born right here in the farmhouse on the land. And one of the things that has really attached us to the land and given us great joy is our relationship and our friendship and mentorship of Joseph Rael, beautiful painted arrow, a Native American visionary and inspired human being. He first brought the sweat lodge here to our land, and then he brought the long dance, the drum dance, and the sun moon dance. And to be able to dance on this land and to pray on this land and to live on this land has been such a valuable and deepening experience in our lives. Eventually, we agreed to build a sound chamber, and it's right up above the barn here. This sound chamber is one of 40 sound chambers, or 40 or more sound chambers, built all over the world through the inspiration of Joseph Rael. And this came into our lives to chant for peace here on the land, in the sound chamber, and through the dances.
In 2014, we went to South Africa where there was a World Peace Chamber gathering in Johannesburg. And after the Peace Chamber gathering, we did a tour with some other people of what they call the Garden Tour coast, the south coast of South Africa, ending up in Cape Town. And one of the things we especially wanted to do was go to Robben Island. Robben Island held the penitentiary that Nelson Mandela served time, 27 years in this prison. And so we took the ferry over to Robben Island, and we were escorted through the prison by one of the ex-prisoners. They're all the tour guides in this prison, the ex-prisoners. And they brought us to Madiba's cell. And Madiba is the X-H-O-S-A name for his tribal name, Madiba. And it's sort of said affectionately. And I can't pronounce Xhosa because it's got clicks and stuff in it. But we went to Madiba's cell, and all there was in this like 8 by 10 concrete cell was a blanket and a bucket. And I read later that he only got a bed in the last years of his incarceration. So we were very, very moved by the whole experience there. And I wrote this song. There was a time. Start again, folks. Different song. There was a time. The journey's never long when freedom's the destination. Written on the wall of Nelson Mandela's prison. Well, freedom's an open highway, a pathway to the stars. Even when glimpsed through penitentiary bars. 27 years in prison, a mile from Cape Town shore. 27 years in prison, pounding rocks, nothing more. Well, he never gave up, he never gave in, living with his jailers, waves washing on the shore, time the only sailor. Enlighten, educate, sparking up the fire. Mandela, Madiba, taking us higher. to the nation. Freedom, freedom, our destination. The journey is never long when freedom's the destination. Written on the wall of Nelson Mandela's prison. Written on the wall of Nelson Mandela's prison. Written on the wall of Mandela's prison. Written on the wall. 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 So, some of you may be wondering what this orange, funny little contraption is here. It's a Wurlitzer to begin with. And Dance, years ago, said, you know, you need a little something to play in your cabin. And there's a place called Vintage Vibe up in northern New Jersey. Let's go up there and get one of these things. So I said, yeah. And does anyone know what these things were made for, by any chance? No? Okay. Well, they're for school kids in the 70s. And then after that, when they got rid of the music programs and everything else, they tossed them. So Vintage Vibe has bought up a lot of Wurlitzers, not just this size, and I reconditioned them, whatever, re-outfitted them. And so I understand that Dance wanted me to have a small thing for my cabin down there, but I also think it's kind of about the level of the piano I can play, and so this school kid thing is just about right for me. And the other thing, one thing I want to say, so writing these songs, this winter, early winter, I had the book of last lyrics and poetry of Leonard Cohen. And I love old St. Lenny, and he's one of the masters, and I was reading it, and very inspired, and he writes these quatrains, which are like 4-line stanzas, very short, because he's a Zen monk, and he like really could condense things. So I'd read, a bunch of pages, and then I'd be real inspired, and I'd get out my comp book, and I'd free associate and write songs. So this next song, like Train 32, and some of I'm Somebody were written this last winter. This one's called Golden Gate. Speak to me easy, speak to me straight. Open yourself, you're my golden gate. I cross the water, circle the tide, just to be near you, our golden take this time to recognize and welcome my San Francisco Golden Gate family who have come a long way to be here. So first I want to honor my sister, Peg, back there, and her husband, Peter, come down from New York City. I love you, Peg. And I want to put a shout out to our brother Paul, who's in San Francisco holding down the fort.
And then I want to recognize my cousin John, wherever he is. I don't know, raise your hand, John. I know you're somewhere. Anyway, he came down from Florence, Massachusetts, and he grew up next door to me on Divisadero Street. And we could walk 1 block down to Broadway and see Alcatraz and the Golden Gate. And I'd like to also recognize my wonderful cousin Pat, who came from Berkeley, California to be here. Yeah, thank you, I love you. And then of course, my son, Zach, his wife, my daughter-in-law Ruby. And Anand and Zareen, my grandchildren, came from Denver, Colorado. And also our daughter Esther, who's down at the Taksharada Orphanage. And then I'd be remiss not to remember who's near and dear to me as my in-laws, Kristen's sister Sherry and her husband John, who came from Ashland, Oregon. And then my brother-in-law Thor on trombone and his wife Joy and their daughter Iris, who came from Seattle, Washington. And then my buddy, our best man, Ron Rozuski, I don't know, I hope he's here. He came all the way from Santa Rosa, California to be here tonight. And then I got to recognize and honor the woman for whom I wrote this song, Kristen. And then I really want to honor everyone who's here tonight, because you're really all part of our Golden Gate family. You're all part of one love together. And we want to continue to build bridges, not walls, to each other. Time has worn edges, dampened the fire. Sparks still smolder and flame and desire. Speak to me easy, speak to me straight. Open yourself to me. My golden gate. Everybody. My golden gate. My golden gate. One more time. My golden gate. Speak to me easy, speak to me straight.